Right, lads and lasses, tough moment in it, but we move forward, and our heads need to start thinking about the match on Thursday in the Europa Conference League. But today we've got a few transfer market updates, and we've got a request in the chat to please talk about the rumors of Jose moving to Everton. Now I'm gonna start off with the transfer market, and then I'm gonna give my opinion on what seems to be the topic which Roma fans are the most scared of in these couple of hours, in these last hours, which is an offer from the Toffees to Jose Mourinho, because apparently, according to the English media, Rafa Benitez is ready to leave the club. Before I talk about that, and before giving my own impression, I want to talk about the two transfer market rumors. Now, obviously, we are coming towards the January break. We are coming towards the transfer market session. And God, if you ask me, you gotta buy someone. God, if you ask me, we need to buy some bloody players which can improve this team. Because, first of all, it physically cannot be possible that we don't win a top match in more than 2 years. Like, this is no exaggeration. AS Roma doesn't win a top match against top clubs, since 2 years ago. It's fucking insane. So, to try and achieve our objectives. Now, I'm gonna point out something I pointed out in the match traction. The fourth place, the Champions League this year is over. Unfortunately, we have wasted too many points to try and get in a Champions League now, but this doesn't mean that we can, arriving fifth is now our new objective, and the Europa Conference League is obviously the prioritized objectives up to now. But obviously, to achieve these objectives, I think the fans understood, the players, Mourinho himself, and just the staff out there understood that to achieve these objectives, you need depth, you need squad depth. And I think one play, you probably, if you're someone who subscribed quite a long time ago and already have watched a few transfer market news, you know that I'm one of those fans which, before spending money, I need to think about it 10 times. Because the fact that Roma's not a rich club, obviously, emphasizes everything. Do we really need these players? And at this stage, I am going to tell you that Paredes would be great. It would probably be even better than Zakaria, if you ask me, who in the meantime conceded 6 goals in the space of 45 minutes yesterday. So, if you ask me, Paredes is better than Zakaria. I think Paredes gives you an imaginary, an absolute great depth in the midfielder area. Now, I want to point out, obviously, that, the depth is, Mourinho understood this question about depth, and we've seen him experimenting with young players quite, frequent amount of times. So, now, if at the start of the season, our midfielder section was literally based over Cristante and Veretout playing every single match, now we're starting to get more players available if one of these two players is not on good form. Look at Veretout, who's on an absolute ridiculous form. Darboy, Diawara, even if they're not great, they still can give those limitations to Cristante and Veretout. So I think buying Paredes would give you an incredible amount of squad depth, just because he can play in various positions in the midfielder area. And if you ask me, something which was a massive, disgusting thing in the match against Inter Milan was the midfielder. Veretout is not in a good form. He can't run well. It feels like he's got one lung now instead of two. So we need someone who can do what Veretout does in a higher scale. Paredes is a player which can play in the defensive midfielder section and then in the attacking midfielder section. And once again, if you ask me, Roma are having extreme difficulties in scoring lately. And Paredes can be someone who can give more assistance to Abraham, Pellegrini when he's back fit, Zaniolo in general. So, it's not just me trying to be positive in this dark moment. Maybe it is. But trust me, Paredes, This is my opinion. You can think it, however you want, but Paredes would be even better than Zakaria if you ask me. Plus, he's got a past at Roma. He knows the fans, he knows the club, he knows the history, and he knows what this club is fighting for. Now, one very important thing when it comes to AS Roma is the fans, because the AS Roma fans, are fans which love the passion, but if a player doesn't perform much anymore, they will start going against him. Paredes knows how the fan base at Roma works. So obviously that will be a boost for him. Aarons is the second option, is the second rumor in these last couple of hours. Max Aarons. So Max Aarons is, in my opinion, to be honest with you, I'll be fully honest here. I don't follow Norwich Football Club, but I have followed Norwich Football Club in the past, and I have seen Max Aarons playing. He's someone who's similar to Karsdorp, someone who loves running, crossing, running. That's what Max Aarons does. The big question mark with Max Aarons, once again, is the defense. Because the defense, I'm not sure how much he defends. And we need someone who defends and attacks well. Max Aarons, for me, is not necessarily someone which Roma will buy. But it's one of those rumors which tell us a lot about how this club wants to move in the future. Now, Sky Sports does say that Norwich have refused to give Max Aarons to AS Roma. Primary factor is obviously that they need to fight for relegation, and Max Aarons is someone who they think can help them, even though he's not had many minutes in his legs this season. But as much as Paredes is someone Roma really want to buy and are going to try their best to buy, because Mourinho knows that in these transfer market sessions, if the Fredkins and Thiago Pinto don't give him at least one player which he asks, then it's going to be trouble. And Mourinho wants Paredes. If you ask me, Paredes wants Roma because he's not having much space at PSG. But Max Aarons, on the other hand, is someone which I think these rumors will not necessarily say Max Aarons is going to be a new Roma player, but are rumors which tell us how AS Roma want to move in the direction of the transfer market in the future. And this is young players. Now, especially with Mourinho, we've seen Mourinho experimenting with young players a lot. And, one of the main positive factors of Mourinho at Roma is that he has the courage and the balls of subbing young academy players in the match, even when you're losing. Look at Felix against Cagliari. Look at Volpato against Inter Milan. He's got the balls to do this. So Mourinho has told, I think, the Fredkins that they need to stop wasting money on players which might be 30, 32 years old, which are never heard of. Because Mourinho knows and is trying to tell the Fredkins that there are at least 5 to 7 young academy players which are 20 times better than these players which we grab, which we grab from nowhere. From an example is Vigna. Vigna came to Roma, and I am sorry, but Vigna is the most useless AS Roma player up to now. He doesn't defend well. Look at the third goal Inter Milan scored, and he doesn't attack well. I think we need to stop buying players which are going to be, can give an economic, crisis in brackets to AS Roma, and need to start experimenting with academy players or young players in general. Because this is just one of my statistics, but I can guarantee that 70% of the times, academy players are going to have a much more powerful impact than these 30-year-old players from the Brazilian league, which Mourinho has probably never heard of even himself, coming to Roma. So what Mourinho's trying to tell the Fredkins that obviously are the leaders or the presidents of such, of an economic limitation club. We can't spend millions and billions of billions and billions and billions and billions of money, because we can't afford it. So Mourinho is trying, to give a path to the future of this club, which is stop wasting money on 30 years old, which are never going to impact this team. Spend money if you need to spend money, because otherwise look at the academy squad. Spend money on young players which can have years at Roma. And that was a reasoning behind Abraham. That is why I don't understand all the hate AS Roma fans, some AS Roma fans, are giving to Abraham. Coming from a completely different league, it's an investment, because it means that Roma doesn't need to spend millions of pounds anymore for at least the next 4 years. Because, Abraham will start to grind more and more and more. Trust me, he will. It's his first year. It's not even his first year. It's like 4 months in. Give him time. So, this is my reasoning behind these transfer market rumors. Now, we've had a request from Logical Fallacy Watch to please talk about the rumors of Jose moving to Everton. Now, this is my impression. You can think it elsewhere. They're probably going to be Mourinho haters, which are in favor of Mourinho out. Now, right, this is a big topic, because I'm going to start off by saying that we should not believe everything social media offers to us. And this is just a primary rule of everything, not just AS Roma related, just in general. If Google tells you to inject chlorine in your veins to be immortal, if someone wants to be immortal, then you don't do that. You don't follow that. Because there's a big topic on social media called fake news. Now, is this fake news? Is this not fake news? Is what AS Roma fans really want to understand. Now, I'm just gonna start this discussion by saying that I am nowhere near a Mourinho out person. And I think, if you're a Mourinho out person, be a Mourinho out person. But if you ask me, I am not a Mourinho out person. Now, I wanna, it feels like many people in the live stream, the live watch-alongs, are going, stop being too positive about Mourinho. But the question is, the reality is, that there is one thing Mourinho asked at the very, very, very start of the season. Possibly even the first day he landed here. And this thing is called time. And I think some AS Roma fans, I'm not saying everyone, but some AS Roma fans have completely forgot about this. Yes, I know the objective of the first year was to try and get in a fourth position, and it's going to be extremely complicated, if not impossible, to get in a fourth position this year. But Mourinho asked for time. And when I'm getting the impression of a few Roma fans, which is the small percentage, obviously, is where's the time you need to give Mourinho? Because I'm going to repeat this again. When Pallotta left this club, when Monchi left this club, I'm going to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. They left it as an absolute mess. Because I am telling you that if Roma obviously didn't sell anyone in these past years, our squad would be composed of Mo Salah, Antonio Rudiger, Alisson, and Nainggolan, maybe other players, Manolas in defense. We had these players in general. And that is when, if Mourinho was at Roma back then, everyone was going to go, oh, yes, happy days. To be successful, I think the problem with Mourinho haters is that they assume that now that Mourinho has won a treble with Inter Milan, everywhere he goes, it's an immediate success. I'm sorry, it's not like that. You need a team to lead you to success. So obviously Mourinho has asked to improve the team, and this is where we'll see, I hope big achievements in the transfer market in January. But speaking about these rumors with Everton, we've highlighted the professionality in a way of Mourinho in many press conferences. I don't think Mourinho will say goodbye to Roma and leave Roma in the state that they're at right now. Because, first of all, it links back to what he said, which is time. But second of all, Mourinho accepted a challenge. Mourinho was trained teams which are nowhere near as to the levels of AS Roma. He wanted a challenge. He wanted to spark his managing career. And obviously, there's a limit of professionality in managers. They're not kids. They're not kids which, at the end, if their team loses a match, they go away because they're fed up. I think there needs to be, there will be a limit, and there will be some professionality in Mourinho. Mourinho's not going to leave like this. Obviously, at least if he doesn't get a 20 billion offer, which, to be honest with you, yes, now that football is made of money nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised. But he's not getting an offer from Everton, which, if you ask me, are even in a worse state than AS Roma. So why would Mourinho leave this club to go in the club in the Premier League, which is in worse conditions than AS Roma? And if you don't agree with it, the stats prove it. Everton are fucking trash this season. I'm not saying Roma's better, but, Everton are currently 16th. They're 5 points from relegation. So you think Mourinho will leave AS Roma to go to a team which is fighting for relegation? Piss it off. So, what I'm trying to get here is that, first of all, I don't think any manager would leave a club after less than half a year, approaching the halfway point. Who would do that? We're not playing FIFA. We're not playing a career mode on FIFA that when we're fed up, when we're close to relegation, we just ask for an offer and change club. It's more professional than that, hopefully. So, JJTV is saying it in the comments. Roma needs good players. Because, at the end of the day, Mourinho can't do much if the players are not performing. He's not a magician. He's not Harry Potter. So, and I think we gotta link it back to what he said at the start. Time. Also, it would be controversial. It would be extremely controversial if Mourinho, at the start of the season, the day he arrived, said, "Give me time," and not even halfway through the season he leaves. That would be just controversial. Massively controversial. So, it's extremely controversial, and I think you get the point. A person saying, give me time. If you give me time and the players I want, then maybe we can start thinking about, potential trophies. So, someone who asks for time and then he leaves after less than a year is extremely controversial. So, what I think is, obviously, you have a good point. If Everton lose today, they may sack their manager and make an offer to Jose Mourinho. And I think, to be honest with you, first of all, who are they playing today? Let's check. Oh, they're playing Arsenal. That's interesting. Now, I've read a couple of hours ago, I've read that what do you call it? Not the CEO, someone close to the CEO of Everton left this morning. So it's an absolute crisis in Everton, and that's not that's true. But, the fact is, to be honest with you, I might be a Roma fan, I might be biased, but I do not think Mourinho will go to Everton right now. I think maybe if nothing gets achieved this season, if we just dropped down, get 6th, we don't win the Europa Conference League, then yes, maybe the Fredkins are gonna decide on what to do with Mourinho. But up to now, we gotta link everything which is happening around Mourinho in these last hours, because he's getting a lot of hate, to what he said at the very start of this adventure, which is time. Time and players. And up to now, I don't think fans are giving Mourinho time, and I don't think, I think we need better players. And the reality is that we need more depth. We need better players, we need more depth, because it physically cannot be possible that if 3 top players in our squad are injured, then we don't play anymore. It's a bad moment at AS Roma, and we're not trying to hide this. You've probably seen it from the match reaction. I said it. We're living a bad moment. Josh said it, and I think Alex, which is actually in the chat, I'm not sure if he left, but hi mate. Alex and everyone, you yourself will agree on the fact that Roma is living a shitty moment. And we're not hiding this. We are not hiding this. But, I think we need to, and we will have to bounce back, starting on Thursday, which might not seem that an important match, but it is, because now, one of their big objectives of the season, now that the 4th place is vanished, we need to think about the Europa Conference League. Because winning the Europa Conference League would let every single Roma fans rethink about what they say about Mourinho. It will be tough. It will be a massive challenge. We need depth, and that means we need to buy players in January. Paredes, hopefully, maybe, who knows. But, time. And I'm going to conclude this live stream by saying time. Because you can go back on the AS Roma YouTube channel and, listen to the first press conference Mourinho said. One of the first things he highlights is time. Obviously, did I expect a defeat against Inter Milan like we lost? Like the defeat that just happened? No. I was not expecting that. I was definitely not expecting that. And obviously, I'm not saying that, I'm not saying it's 100% the player's fault. There is a slight responsibility for Mourinho as well. But that's normal, So, once again, we need time. We need to just, forget about what happened on Saturday. We need to start thinking about rebuilding everything. Starting to conclude the year with good results. Try to conclude the year closing the gap with the 4th position, even if it's going to be extremely hard. And then just think about starting the new year the best way as possible. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Transfer market news and Mourinho news as well, because you guys asked in the chat. And yeah, this is my opinion, obviously. This is my opinion. You might think it elsewhere, but tonight, it will be a very interesting match between Everton and Arsenal. Very, very interesting. We need to support Everton. According to social media, we need to support Everton. So up the toffees tonight. Right, let's read some comments before, and then I'll end it. Please sign Marcos Alonso from us. He's so terrible. I mean, he's a left back. Spinazzola's back, so Paredes does not affect the need of a left-footed midfielder. Hence Xhaka, Zakaria. Watch fake news. Why Jose goes to Everton? Yeah, exactly. Through a contract, and he will not leave Roma. Hopefully, I agree with that though. Vino was a cheap backup left back, age 23. Good transfer until Spinazzola. Oh yeah, by the way, Spinazzola's supposed to be back anytime soon. Anytime soon. He's still training alone, but it's important. I think he'll be back. We've got a match on Thursday, then we're playing on Monday against La Spezia, then maybe for the match against Atalanta, he will start getting back with the squad, and then just before Christmas, maybe, this is interesting, because I'm actually going to the stadium the 22nd, it's Roma against Sampdoria. Maybe he'll be back, who knows, that'll be great. So, lads and lasses, have a wonderful evening. Up to Everton tonight, by the way, according to social media. I'm here, Simon will win. That's Alex. Will win, and our next Sarah matches. Time is all we need. Francesco Totti once said, if you don't suffer, you're not a Roma fan. And that's a good quote to conclude. If you're new here, please subscribe. Button right on the corner. Literally takes 2 seconds and it supports all of us so much. Please like this live stream as soon as it becomes a video. It's fairly important. And follow me here on Instagram if you have time. And if you have Instagram, obviously. I'll catch you tomorrow. Simon out.